Hey everybody, Elizabeth Moore here, and we are on day 3 of our Grocery Getters Bootcamp. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about reading labels, because we don't all have hours to spend at the grocery store, scoring over every single food label that we are, stuff that we are interested in buying. So I'm just going to tell you what works for me, the things that I look for, and so hopefully it'll just simplify the process for you. I know when you're trying to read a label and you don't know what you're looking for, it gets overwhelming. And a lot of us, what we do is we look at the calories and we base our decisions of if we're going to purchase or not based off of the calorie content. But there's actually a lot of other things that you should be looking for besides just the calories, even if you do look at the calories. So the first thing that I would recommend is don't go by what it says on the outside of the package. That can be very misleading. You can word things very differently. Like for example, made with whole grains. That could literally mean it is all white, refined, bleached flour and just like a teaspoon of whole grains. So there you go, it's made with whole grains. That is a true statement because there are whole grains in it. So you'd have to be mindful of what it says on the package, and just know that that doesn't necessarily mean like it's a whole grain product. So the first thing I always recommend when you're looking at the label, skip past all the nutrition facts and go straight to the ingredients. Here's my quick rules of thumb. You want to look for things that have 5 ingredients or less. You should be able to pronounce them all. They should look like something that you want to put in your body and something that you want to eat. So those are the things that I look for first. Before I look at the nutrition facts, anything else like that. If it passes that test, then I start to look for the other things. So I go up and I look at serving size, because all of the nutrition facts are based on one serving. So you're not looking at the whole, what's in there. Like if you would think it's a 1 serving thing, it might actually be 2 or 3 or 4. So you would have to double or triple the amount of those nutrition facts that you are looking for. So if it passed my ingredient test, yes, you can look at calories, you can look at carbs, you can look at fat, all that stuff, if that is the kind of diet that you are looking for. Personally, I don't count those things, so I don't pay attention too much to them. What I look for is I look for sugar and I look for sodium. So what I found that if it passes the ingredient test and the sugar and the sodium are in check, that those other things like the calories and the fat and stuff, that just kind of falls into place naturally for me. You might be different. You might be looking at those things. So you got to pick out what works best for you. If you're looking at fats, trans fats and saturated fats are the two to look closely at. So as far as sugar, you already checked out the ingredients, so you want to be looking for if there's no sugar that you recognize in the ingredient list, and I'm going to do a different video as well going more into sugar, but there's sugar listed in the nutrition facts. That can mean that it's coming from natural sugar, so that's better than the added sugars, but you just kind of want to be looking for overall sugar content. And then like I said, I'm going to dive into that deeper, so I'm not going to spend time today talking about that. I'll do a whole video on that as well. And then as far as salt, what I do is I look for the percentage daily value, because I'm not good with numbers. I don't remember numbers all that well. So I look for the percent daily value. What you need to know about that is the percent daily value is based on a 2,000 calorie diet. So well, a lot of us don't know exactly how many calories we eat in a day, but you can probably guess based on that. So if you eat more or less of that, so your percentage would need to be more or less. So if it's 5% or lower, that would be considered low sodium. 20% or higher is starting to get high. So you want to be looking for 5 to 20%, but also keeping in mind 2 things. how many calories you generally would consume in a day. So if you are less than 2,000 calories, you think, you would want you wouldn't want to be getting up to that 20% because that's actually going to be a bigger percentage for you personally. And the other thing to keep in mind is servings. So if you find something that is 20% sodium and you know that when you sit down, you're going to eat the whole thing, and the whole thing's 3 servings. That's actually 60% sodium. So that's what you have to keep in mind as well. So not just that the fact that the sodium is between 5 and 20%, but also how much of it are you actually going to sit down and eat. If you know you're going to sit down, eat the whole thing, and consume 3 servings, 60%, probably not the best thing to buy. So I hope that these tips helped. This, like I said, this is just what I look for when I look at a label. I know it can be super overwhelming. So I just wanted to teach you how I break it down. I hope that this helped, and I hope that you all have a great Friday. I'll be back tomorrow with more. All right, thank you.